I'm not going to try to hold myself to a schedule, but hopefully I shouldn't be taking any 8-month breaks. There should be some sort of consistency. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. You're about to watch the most miserable sequence of events you've ever witnessed take place in Minecraft. This run was so bad that it made me come back to making videos. Also, about that, I should be at least somewhat consistent with my videos. Yeah, fuck that. This channel is entirely a passion project, so I'm gonna upload literally whenever I want to and how often I want to. So if that means taking several month-long breaks in between, then I'll have to do that. It'll make sure that instead of it feeling like a chore or a job, I actually care about the videos that I'm making. Like this one, for example. This show will probably be really fun to look back on. This title is not an exaggeration. It really is that bad. That in-game time at the top right should tell you everything you need to know. So my recording of the actual run, I wasn't doing commentary. Like I didn't have my mic on. And also I can't use the audio because I was also blasting copyrighted music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a quick overview of it, looking back on it. I have it pulled up here, appropriately named, I think. The craziest part about this run, by the way, 1 hour and 23 minutes long, 0 deaths. I died 0 times. There was 0 time loss from deaths. So that means that all 1 hour and 23 minutes is just raw, like just terrible RNG, terrible, like it's just terrible. Like if you told me that I was gonna have a 1 hour and 23 minute run with 0 deaths, I would have laughed at you. So it's an ocean spawn, which gave me a lot of hope for how this run would turn out, because ocean spawns are usually good. Like there's stuff like shipwrecks, magma ravines, like a bunch of stuff that's good for speedrunning. Yeah, it actually did not turn out that way, believe it or not. Most of this like first stuff is pretty standard. Like I'm just getting tools, and then like I'm getting doors and a boat for a magma ravine, and then I'm out looking for a magma ravine for me to enter the nether. I'm also looking for a shipwreck here because I need iron. I need a bucket. I need an iron pickaxe in order to make the speedrun work. So I spot a magma ravine. Also, I forgot to mention, this is a no reset speedrun, which means that like no matter how bad the seed is, I can't reset. It's a challenge that I forced on myself to make sure that I complete every single seed that I play. That's the only reason I followed through with this run. This run, it would not be a thing if I was not playing no reset. So anyway, you saw that I see a magma ravine right here, like see the magma down here, but I still don't have iron, so I need iron. And then I boat around for like no exaggeration, 5 minutes. I finally find one at 5:11. I left to find the shipwreck at like 2 minutes. It gives me enough food and also gives me enough iron in order to enter. But now I have to go all the way back to the magma ravine that I found, which takes me like another like 3-4 minutes. And then when I actually get to it, it turns out, look at this, find magma block, boop, no lava. It's a fake magma ravine. Those are like, I mean, they're not like rare, but they're definitely not common. It's definitely more common to have a real magma ravine than a fake magma ravine where there's just no lava and under any of the magma. So I have to go out and find another magma ravine. And I finally find a real one here at 10:27. Now at this point, like it's pretty bad. A 10-minute nether enter is pretty bad, but it's not like the worst I've ever played. So I'm okay so far, but it's only gonna get worse. After I entered the nether, I found the bastion relatively fast at like 12 minutes. This is like the most normal part of the run, the bastion and the shipwreck part. I loot all the chests first. I block it to make sure that the pigs don't get mad at me for opening their chests. And then I just get all the stuff in there. After that, I try to dig down to like the main part of the bastion so I can do a bastion route and get my trades. I get stuck doing this for a little bit, but I'm out at like 15:30. I do the regular bastion route, which is just hitting the pigs to make sure they follow me, blocking off, getting the gold. Like if you know speedrunning at all, this is all not new to you. This is the regular bastion route. I trade all my stuff to the pigs. Like all this is like really standard so far for speedrunning. Like I said, this is the most normal part of the run. It gets so much worse later. I found that the fortress goes this direction with my pyre. I pearl hang there. After that, I get all my stuff and then I just dip. Key thing to note here, I have 13 obsidian. That means I can't nether travel. I can only get out of the nether once, which is really bad considering how bad my blind was. Finding the fortress doesn't take me long. It's not too far away. Yeah, like at like 21, like 30, I'm like at the fortress. 22 minutes, around that time. I play the spawner, and after some time, I get all the blaze rods that I need for all the Eyes of Ender, obviously, and then I just leave. Important thing to note, in this blind, I'm caved. And this This will become important later in the weirdest way ever. Like at the time, like I didn't think much of it. It's like, okay, I just have to dig out to travel. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But later on, it becomes important in the weirdest way. Obviously, I measure my eyes after the blind. I do other regular stuff. Tells me 2,300. I'm gonna have to travel in the overworld for 2,300 blocks. This is like the worst possible blind you can get. At this point, the run was already bad. Like I was at 25 minutes leaving the nether with all the stuff. Like that's really bad. And then it's telling me I have to travel 2,500 blocks. I'm gonna skip through all this blind travel because it just really just does not matter. It takes me forever. Those coordinates were inaccurate, by the way, so I had to travel like another 400 blocks, which I mean, to be fair, is a skill issue. Like that's just me mismeasuring. But I finally find the stronghold after at 42 minutes after leaving the nether 25 minutes. It took me like 17 minutes. At this point, something very important to note, I have 11 eyes. And that means, like, I'm just risking it to make sure that it's not, like, a 0 eye. Because if it's a 0 eye, I'm just completely messed up at this point. I'm gonna search up 0 eye percentages Minecraft. It's a 28%. Okay, so it's not that rare. I thought it was, like, 1 in 10, but I guess not. So I find the portal room, right? And like in my happiness of finding the portal room, I forget to check how many eyes there are. So I just go directly into it. I craft all my beds and stuff, making inventory room for the beds. And at this point, look, I just hover over the Eye of Ender. At this point, I'm like, wait, I only have 11 eyes. I didn't check how many eyes the portal room has. Look around. Disaster. Worst case scenario. This is terrible. This means that I have to find an ender pearl somehow. And I type in OMG in the chat. I could not believe that. I have 11 eyes. I just completely forgot to check. Because I was so happy that I found the portal room. At this point, I write down the coordinates of the portal room to make sure I can get back to it later. My first game plan was to find a pearl in a stronghold chest, which they're pretty common in stronghold chests. Or just like find a stray enderman, because endermen spawn in strongholds as well. So I'm at like 46 minutes when I start searching. Let's fast forward a little bit, shall we? Yeah, that doesn't that doesn't exactly happen. And here I am digging out to find an enderman on the surface at 53 minutes, just having wasted 7 minutes. By the way, Juan, go back. Let's see how many pork chop I entered this stronghold with. I entered this stronghold with 9 pork chop. At the end, all but 1 are gone by the time that I leave. That's ridiculous, bro. The fact that I burned 8 pork chop in a stronghold. Something I considered as well is like 53 minutes. Like, this is the night cycle. Like, right now it's nighttime outside. And obviously enderman can't spawn unless it's night. So I'm like, okay, it's night. This is my best chance for me to find an enderman outside. I'm just gonna stop looking in the stronghold. At this point, I have to get more food, which like didn't even seem like a possibility before, with 9 pork chop entering the stronghold. But I do. And then I just look around. No enderman in sight. So many other mobs, but no enderman. I just keep looking and looking and looking and looking. All these biomes are trash for finding an enderman, by the way. But then I come across a desert biome, which is by far the best biome to find enderman in. And it's completely, like when I saw this, I was like, I hit the jackpot. Like there's just no way in this massive open desert that I will not find a single enderman. Spoiler alert, I don't, because why would I? It's this run after all. 2300 blind. 0 eye, like it's just everything goes wrong. At this point, I'm like a minute. It's like a minute away from daytime, and I just couldn't believe it. I'd explored so much of this desert, and there's just no enderman. At this point in time, the sun is rising. I'm like, I need to go to, I need to go back into the nether to find an enderman. Like that's how terrible my situation is. I left the nether with all the stuff that I needed for in order to beat the game. At 24 minutes or like 23 minutes or something like that. Here I am at 59:51 coming back into the nether to hunt enderman. Like this run just could not have gone worse. Now something is about to happen with this portal that is very important for later on. This portal is linked to my blind portal. Now portal linking, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to only happen when the portals are like really close together, right? So that means that this random lava pool that I found in the middle of nowhere in a desert was really close to my blind portal, and that is the most unlucky thing that could ever happen to me for reasons that you'll see later. Another thing to note, my pickaxe is at like 1/3 durability. Now, I didn't even pay attention to this at all at the time, but once again, important later. Also, something to note, this fortress isn't like the worst biome to find Enderman in. Soul Sand Valley and Basalt are like the biomes that Enderman spawn the least in. So that means I have to go to a different biome in order to find Enderman. But, to my surprise, 2 Endermen actually do spawn in the Soul Sand Valley, which is very rare. It's much rarer to find Enderman in Soul Sand Valley than any other biome in the Nether. Kill this Enderman, no drop. Because why would it drop, you know? And then, see another Enderman over there. Second Enderman, no drop, because of course it didn't drop. Now, obviously, I know that's not technically unlucky, because there's only like a 25% chance of you getting pearls from Enderman. But in the context of everything else that has happened to me in this run, it's pretty unlucky. Now, in this Nether, trying to hunt for Enderman, I have like 2 separate near-death encounters from like the most ridiculous shit ever. I finally find a warped forest after like 6 minutes of searching. 6 minutes isn't that much, to be fair, but now in warped forest, there's like 50 Endermen. There was no way I wasn't getting a pearl. I finally get a pearl. And then obviously I have to go back to my blind portal, because obviously I don't have it. I don't have 10 obsidian. I can't just make another portal. Now here's a near-death experience number 1. I hesitated for a second to make this jump because there's no blocks in my inventory. I can't block much and get up there, obviously. So I turn around. Hoglin Nation. Hoglin Nation. And I'm at 5.5 hearts already. So it's like, what do I do? Like, what would you do? You don't have any blocks. You can't go back over there. I just run for it. I just run for it. I could not, like, I was not gonna let myself die in what is already like the worst speedrun of all time. After surviving that, I was like, okay, this is chill. I'm back at the fortress. All I need to do is just go into the portal. But of course it wasn't that easy. I get fireballed by blazes. Wither skeletons come for me. What I want to know is why there were so many wither skeletons in just this specific area. Like, that was so bad. And it knocks me towards the blaze spawner, which also could easily kill me if they spawn blazes. Luckily, they didn't. This period of time. My axe breaks, by the way, mid-fight. This is the worst possible time, so I have to run for my life because I can't fight multiple wither skeletons with my pickaxe. I finally kill all of them. I make it into the portal. I actually want to know what happened here. Because, like, okay. So, how does this make any sense? There's no mobs anywhere. How is it that once I enter the portal, a million skeletons, like, how? Like, I guess they must have just, like, went in by accident. They just stayed out there. Obviously, this is a disaster situation. If I die here, block them off, crying obby. Something you may have noticed, this portal didn't bring me back to the lava pool at in the desert. It brought me to my original blind location, way back from, like, early in the run. And so because of that, I have to dig out, and as you can see, my pickaxe is on, like, no durability. Now, this is the moment that I've been foreshadowing for this entire run so far. I think this is the point where I realized, wait, my pickaxe might actually break. Like, while I'm digging out. I check F3, biome, wooded mountains, which means that the Y level that I have to dig to is like 90. And then after I realized that, I'm just like, oh wait, I'm just completely screwed. Like, I have nothing. Like, I don't have a crafting table. I don't have any wood to make anything out of. I don't have stone to make anything out. Like, I can't make a pickaxe after this pickaxe rip. And I have to get up in order to get a pickaxe. So, like, what do I do? And my Y59 when it breaks. And then I look, I have to mine it with my fist. I have to. So because of that, what's already like I'm at 1 hour and 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, what is already one of the worst runs of all time. I lose like another like 5-6 minutes because I have to mine stone with my bare fists out of a wooded mountain. Like, what? OMG, I put in chat. It actually wasn't even like that crazy of a time loss. Like, I lost my like 3 minutes, but those 3 minutes like felt like the longest 3 minutes ever, just because of like the nature of what had happened. I have to fucking mine wood again with my fists, and then make a wooden pickaxe to mine stone to make a stone pickaxe. Like, I was at the beginning of the game again. Like, oh my god. And then this zombie ambushes me, like, so I can't access my wood, and I have to fight it off with my iron shovel because both my axe and my pickaxe broke. Like, this is insane. And then after I finally make a stone pickaxe and a stone axe, because that's all I can afford, now I have to run back to the portal room from my blind location, which, as you know, was very far away from the portal room. It was an unlucky blind. Finally, with my last eye of Ender, so I can finally enter the end at 1 hour and 20 minutes time. Like, what? And I didn't die a single time either. I'm entering at 1 hour. This is another thing that scared the hell out of me. I only had 28 cobblestone and, like, an assortment of other random blocks. And I didn't have any pearls, and I had to bridge. So I was really scared that, like, it just wouldn't be enough. But I was scared for no reason. 28 is way more than enough to bridge this gap. I was so nervous at this point in time, by the way, because if I mess this up, but yeah, all's well that ends well. The dragon perches. I'm close enough to get to it. And then I hit the beds. That first bed was pretty bad. And that second bed too. But after that, I started doing some decent damage. So I can finally be done with this run. After a lifetime of suffering, I can finally enjoy the ending screen. And that concludes the worst Minecraft speedrun of all time. Even though the run was so painful, the reflection on it was actually really fun to record. And I hope you enjoyed it too, in its absolute silliness. And I also hope that you realize that you don't know true pain until you're using your fists to mine out of a mountain in the middle of an hour-long speedrun. And on that note, see y'all next time. Leo out.